Kaito Yukimura runs frantically down the crowded street leading to Blox High, adjusting his bag, sweat beading on his forehead.
I can't believe I'm late. On my first day!
He turns a corner, nearly colliding with other students, earning a few curious glances and chuckles. Ahead, Akari Raiden leans against a wall, arms crossed, his sharp red eyes locked on Kaito. Kaito skids to a stop.
Hey, sorry man, didn't see you there.
Akari steps forward calmly, his cool demeanor in stark contrast to Kaito's high energy.
Watch where you're going. You need to be more careful here. This isn't like other schools.
Kaito shrugs, adjusting his bag.
Careful? Nah, I'll be fine. It's just school, right? I'm ready to take on anything.
Akari shakes his head, slightly exasperated but unfazed.
You'll learn fast. This place, it's different. Rankings matter here. Are you even listening to me?
Kaito's carefree expression falters for a moment.
Rankings?
They determine everything. Strength, influence, and who you can trust.
Kaito tilts his head, slightly taken aback but quickly regains his confidence.
So it's all about numbers, huh? Sounds like fun.
Akari shakes his head again.
For some, it's a game. For others, it's life or death.
Kaito's eyes flicker with brief unease before his signature grin returns. Kaito weaves through the bustling corridor, his excitement clear. Students stand in clusters, chatting, all eyes occasionally glancing at the massive digital ranking tower that dominates the space. The screen flickers, updating in real time as student names and ranks shift. Kaito gazes up at it, intrigued.
Rankings, huh? What's all the fuss about?
A small group of students notices him, whispering among themselves.
That's the new guy, Kaito Yukimura. He's from the Void Warden Clan, isn't he?
Yeah, but that clan's all gone now.
Kaito catches bits of their conversation, but brushes it off with a light chuckle. The screen flashes again, and a wave of hushed whispers follows. On the screen, Kaito's name appears for the first time. Kaito Yukimura, rank 890. Kaito stares at the number for a beat before bursting into laughter.
890. Really? Well, that's just humbling. Nowhere to go but up, right?
The students look at him, confused by his reaction. One of them smirks, amused by his nonchalance. Akari watches from the side, shaking his head in mild disbelief at Kaito's attitude. Kaito continues down the halls, his smile fading slightly as the reality of the rankings begins to settle in.
890. That's gotta be some mistake, right?
He turns the corner and suddenly freezes. A few steps ahead stands Taro Ichinose, flanked by a group of students. Taro's cold, icy eyes meet Kaito's. His demeanor is sharp, calculating, and his smirk sends a chill down Kaito's spine. Taro's presence is overwhelming, the very air around him feeling heavier. On the screen beside him, his rank flashes. Taro Ichinose, rank 4. Kaito stares at the number, his earlier confidence waning. The gap between them is undeniable. Taro walks toward him, his steps deliberate.
Number 890, huh? That's brave.
Kaito swallows hard, his grin wavering but still in place. He raises his chin slightly, trying to maintain his usual carefree attitude.
Yeah, well, guess I've got a long climb ahead of me.
Taro stops in front of him, towering over Kaito by just a few inches, his icy blue eyes scanning Kaito with disinterest.
Climb? With that rank, you're lucky if you survive the week.
Kaito stiffens, feeling the weight of Taro's words. The tension between them is palpable, students nearby watching the exchange with bated breath.
Guess I'll just have to prove you wrong then.
Taro leans in closer, his voice low, almost a whisper.
You won't last here. Not with that attitude. This school is a battlefield. You should know your place.
Kaito clenches his fists, his pulse quickening. He's not afraid, but the reality of Blox High's ranking system begins to sink in deeper than before. Taro straightens up, flashing a cold smile before turning to walk away, leaving Kaito standing in the hallway, tension still lingering in the air. Kaito watches him go, the confident smirk slipping away for the first time.
I've really underestimated this place.
Kaito walks back toward the ranking tower, his mind racing. He glances at the screen again, his rank blinking up at him, number 890. The enormity of the climb hits him. Akari approaches quietly, standing beside him. Neither speaks for a moment.
Still, think this is a game?
Kaito doesn't answer immediately, his usual carefree grin nowhere to be found.
Maybe I've got more to learn than I thought.
Akari watches him for a moment, then steps away, leaving Kaito to stare up at the tower, determination flickering in his eyes once more. Kaito strides into the lounge, eyes scanning the unfamiliar faces. He spots Rika Ayase, sitting alone by the window, staring at her rank on her tablet. Number 630. Her brow is furrowed, fingers drumming restlessly on the table.
Mind if I sit?
Rika glances up. She recognizes Kaito. She gestures toward the chair, but her eyes return to the screen.
Sure, knock yourself out.
You seem down. Everything okay?
Rika lets out a small, frustrated laugh, her fingers still nervously tapping.
Rank 630. It's not okay. I've trained for years, but it's never enough.
Kaito frowns, leaning back.
That's just a number. It doesn't say who you are.
Rika finally meets his gaze, a flicker of skepticism in her eyes.
Says the guy who laughs at his rank. Don't pretend like it doesn't matter here.
Kaito chuckles, scratching his head, his grin returning, though slightly softer this time.
Well, 890's just a starting point, right? You're only stuck if you think you are.
You don't get it. Being stuck this low, it's pressure. It's like everyone's waiting for me to mess up. My family, my friends, they expect me to climb, but
Then climb. Prove them wrong.
Rika pauses, her gaze steadying as she watches Kaito's unshaken confidence.
You're crazy, you know that?
Kaito laughs, playfully bumping his shoulder against hers.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
Kaito leans back in his chair, glancing up at the ranking tower in the distance. We cut to Akari, alone in a sleek, minimalistic training space. He stands with his eyes closed, breathing deeply, the room eerily quiet. The ranking screen blinks on the wall. Akari Raiden rank 7. Akari's eyes open slowly, the red in them glowing faintly. He stretches out his hand, and the air crackles with electricity. Sparks dance along his fingertips, his expression unreadable. A quick flash of lightning fills the room, the sheer force of it vibrating the walls. Akari pulls his power back, eyes closing again as he steadies himself. His shoulders tense as he senses something. His father's stern voice echoes in his mind. You're holding back, Akari. You'll never be ready at this rate. Akari's expression hardens. He knows the weight of the expectations on him. Kaito strolls through the hallways. Suddenly, a chime rings out from the overhead speaker.
Attention students! Kaito Yukimura, report to the combat arena for your first mock battle!
Kaito blinks, the announcement hitting him harder than he expected. He rubs the back of his neck, chuckling nervously.
A mock battle. Guess it's time to get serious.
He heads toward the arena, the tension building with each step. Kaito enters the massive arena, the atmosphere crackles with anticipation. At the far end of the arena, Ryota Kurogane, number 215, steps forward, cracks his knuckles as he sizes Kaito up. A smirk forms on his lips, clearly amused by the mismatch.
They're really making me fight someone ranked this low?
Kaito swallows, his carefree grin faltering just for a moment before he steels himself. He steps forward, letting his bravado take over.
You might be surprised.
The ranking screen above them flashes with their names and ranks. Kaito Yukimura, rank 890. Ryota Kurogane, rank 215. Ryota cracks his neck, clearly unimpressed.
You're not gonna last 5 minutes.
Kaito's eyes harden. Despite his easygoing nature, there's a fierce determination burning underneath.
Guess we'll see about that.
The crowd stirs, whispering and betting on the outcome, but Kaito's focus is solely on Ryota. His fingers twitch slightly as he prepares himself mentally for the battle.
Combatants, prepare for battle!
The arena grows quiet, the energy in the room thick with anticipation. Kaito's heart races, but he stands tall, eyes locked on Ryota, ready to prove himself. The silence lingers for a tense beat before the air crackles with energy and the countdown begins. The battle arena echoes with the sound of shifting stone as Kaito and Ryota face each other. The audience is abuzz, watching eagerly.
Rank number 890? They're really sending you to fight me? This is going to be a joke.
Kaito's smile wavers for a moment, but he steels himself.
I didn't come here to let them walk all over me. I have to prove myself, no matter what.
Kaito kneels before an old shrine, the symbol of his Void Clan etched into the stone. His father's words echo in his mind. You carry the last hope of our clan, Kaito, but strength is more than just power. Kaito's younger self stares at the family's Ku no Inman, the mark of the Void swirling on the family crest.
I'll show them that the Void Warden Clan still stands strong.
Ryota smirks, his hand pressed to the ground. The earth begins to shift under Kaito's feet, sending small tremors through the arena.
Let's see if you can keep up.
The ground beneath Kaito cracks. He's thrown off balance, scrambling to find stable footing.
He's controlling the terrain. I can't fight him directly, but if I stay unpredictable...
Kaito darts forward, trying to anticipate the shifting ground. His movements are erratic, weaving through the debris.
Too slow, Yukimura!
Kaito stumbles again, barely regaining his balance. Akari watches silently. Rika, sitting beside him, is biting her lip anxiously.
This isn't looking good. Ryota's controlling the entire arena.
He's adapting. Watch closely.
Kaito glances around, his mind racing. The cracks in the earth stretch like a web, each one a potential trap.
I can't outpower him, but maybe I don't have to.
Ryota sends another shockwave. Kaito suddenly lunges toward a large chunk of debris, using it as a platform to propel himself into the air. He flips over Ryota.
Missed me?
Quit dodging! Fight me like a real warrior!
Kaito notices something, a pattern in the tremors. Every time Ryota slams the ground, the shockwaves ripple in predictable lines.
Wait, I see it now. He's strong, but he's relying on brute force. I can work with that.
Rika gasps as Kaito leaps between the crumbling earth, his movements more fluid.
He's reading Ryota's attacks.
Akari nods, his sharp eyes watching Kaito's movements closely.
He's analyzing the patterns. Clever. He's still pushing his luck.
Ryota slams his fists into the ground, sending out a powerful shockwave. The ground splits beneath Kaito's feet, but instead of dodging, Kaito uses the momentum to propel himself forward.
Stop running!
Running? I'm just warming up.
The audience watches in awe as Kaito narrowly escapes each tremor. Akari's eyes narrow as Kaito continues to adapt to Ryota's attacks.
He's not just surviving. He's turning Ryota's strength against him. But this fight is far from over.
Kaito dodges another attack. Ryota's power is overwhelming, and it's clear Kaito is running out of energy.
I can't keep this up. I need to finish this.
Kaito's eyes scan the arena, debris scattered everywhere, cracks in the ground forming a maze of instability.
There's gotta be a way. Think, Kaito. Use what you've got.
He's running out of time. Ryota's not going to hold back much longer.
It's all or nothing now.
Ryota slams the ground again, sending another massive shockwave toward Kaito. The arena trembles violently. Kaito dodges, but he's slower this time, fatigue setting in.
It's over, Yukimura!
With one final powerful strike, Ryota causes the ground to erupt beneath Kaito's feet. The force sends Kaito flying backward, crashing hard into the arena wall. Kaito lies there for a moment, dazed, gasping for breath. The crowd grows silent as Ryota approaches, towering over him.
You fought well, for a loser.
Just as Ryota raises his hand to deliver the final blow, we see a mark on Kaito's body flash.